Hello everybody, hope you're having a fantastic day today. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Today, I got the Ultimate Heavy Gunner 2025 build for you guys, version 3. Hopefully there's not another version 4 for at least a couple of months. Let's get into it here. Okay, so I just want to show you what this build can do before we get into it here. And I just want to say, like in the Union power armor specifically, most power armors anyway, you're gonna be somewhat invincible. If you use exactly what I have, you will get very similar or exact results. So, just throwing that out there, make sure you have everything I have on in the video so you guys are getting these same results. You can see this behemoth hitting me in a power armor is basically just a joke. Like, it doesn't take off a lot of health and it just rejuvenates anyway, which we will get into a little bit later on in the video. Just want to say, if you're in a power armor, there's no reason you should be dying. You will be very overpowered with this build as well. You can see I'm using the 50 cal here. I wouldn't say it's the most powerful heavy gun, but you can see that it is doing more than enough damage. And honestly, the 50 cal has really become one of my daily drivers. I just seem to be using this weapon more than anything. Just gets the job done, and it is extremely satisfying to use. I will get into what I have on all my guns later on in the video. Also, you will be able to solo the Guardian with this build, or even do raids, of course, as well. I will do a quick tutorial of that at the end of the video as well. And just to point out all the stuff you can carry, like heavy guns are not light, and you can see all the weapons, all the heavy guns that I have on here, all the armor that I have on. I know I'm starting to get overweight, but just appreciate all the stuff that I have on me. 453 canned coffee, just a bunch of meat, like even like unlimited stim packs, basically, guys. Ammo, you're going to be able to carry everything you need with this build, and very, seldom will you have to unload. And with the Electric Absorption legendary perk card with this build as well, enemies with energy weapons will refill your fusion cores. So that's just quite nice. It'll save you on some fusion cores. And I do encourage you to hop out of power armor with this build as well. The Secret Service armor goes a long way. I've been using it for a while. It works quite well with this build as I'm showing here. You will have no problem staying alive, as I will show in a second. But I just want to show too, you may do just as much, if not more, damage with the Rangers on the armor. So it's just nice to be able to do this out of armor. And like I said, the resistances are great. It's not as good as being in a power armor, but you can see even a behemoth here, gives me more than enough time to stim pack, especially if you're using super stim packs. You should have no problem staying alive. And you can use rifles with this build. And you can use pistols with this build as well. So a very versatile build, lots of weapons to use. Let's get into it here. Let's get into the perk cards that we're using here. So, this is basically two builds that I'm going to be showing. There is a Raid Runner and the Heavy Gunner build. The Heavy Gunner is just kind of for like casually doing your thing. And then the Raid Runner, of course, will be for running raids. These builds both share the exact same legendary perk cards, so you can switch them on the fly. So I just wanted to make sure that that was easy for you, so you don't have to worry about having the right legendary perk cards on when you are switching between these builds. Now, I do want to say I did not include a beginner build with this video. I will link a video in the description that will bring you right out of the vault to level 100 with heavy guns. So I feel like that would be so much better than just posting, a quick little build up here for you guys to figure out. The tutorial that I post will easily get you in the right direction to making this build. So with that said, this is the Raid Runner build as well. I included the Science perk card there as well. If you're wondering, it actually does buff the damage of heavy energy weapons now, so that's why that is on there. And I have Gun Fu in case you have to watch the drill. And yeah, very solid build, everybody. I've had no problem with it with a couple of days now here. I finally think I have it fine-tuned. Gonna show you the power armor that I'm using and everything on it. You can see Overeaters powered. Through Hikers is very important on all your armor. And Rejuvenators is quite nice as well. I do recommend the Union, but I do run around in the Excavator a lot. I kind of just have some intelligent buffs on here, so I'm getting a little bit more XP with this when I'm running around. And you can see I threw some scanners and reflectives on there. Overeaters is great as well, and Through Hikers is definitely a must with this build because the perk cards I have on will complement that. and of course with the Secret Service armor, whatever armor you want to use with this build. I do recommend you have Through Hikers on as well. You'll be able to carry so much more. Like I said, it just complements the perk cards. Overeaters is probably a must on this as well. Through Hikers, like I said, you can see I threw some Poisoners and Fireproof on here as well. That goes a long way, and I highly recommend Rangers for a 4th star as well. Now let's get into the mutations that I use with this build. Now, Adrenal Reaction is a great one now. I highly recommend it. It has definitely, I think it's been buffed, to be honest. It depends if you're a bloody build or not. We're not going to get into that right now, but I do recommend it. Adrenal Reaction Serum, Bird Bones, Eagle Eyes, Egghead, Herbivore I do recommend, which we're going with this build. We are a Herbivore. Herd Mentality, Marsupial, Scaly Skin, and Speed Demon. Now, let's just show, or I just wanted to show you some of the damage that you can do with, different types of weapons here, just in case you're interested in, some weapons that you may want to use. The MG42, or just the light machine gun, is an absolute beast. It really surprised me today using it. And again, I will show all these weapons at the end of the video in case you, want exact results that I have here. You can see I'm using the Gatling gun as well. I highly recommend, even if you're a seasoned veteran player, give this Gatling gun a try. It is just so convenient. It's like you never have to reload it. Ammo is so cheap, and it is more than doing enough damage with this build. So I highly recommend it. Even like taking out Scorch Beast. Like I wouldn't go fight a Scorch Beast Queen solo with it, or Earl or anything like that. But like just running around, this gun is so convenient. The Holy Fire, of course, an absolute beast. I will link a video of my top 5 heavy weapons to use and how to get them as well. This weapon is included on that list, just in case you're wondering how to get some of these weapons. Most of them you can just buy the plans for, but the Holy Fire here is a specialty flamer here, which is why I wanted to link that video, just in case you wanted to figure out how to get it. And you definitely want the Holy Fire. It is a lot better than a regular flamer, and it's pretty much just insta kills with regular mobs. And the Gatling Plasma. I feel like using this on regular mobs, like if you're not fighting a boss with this thing, I feel like it's just way too overpowered. But yeah, it's nice to just go around destroying everything, including Scorched, and you can just see what it does to a Scorched Beast. It's like almost an insta-kill. And last but not least here, I think it's the last one I show here before we get into rifles and pistols, is the 50 cal. Just been my daily driver lately. I absolutely love this weapon. It's just, I don't know, it sounds good, it feels good. It just scratches that itch. I don't know, maybe it's just me. If you haven't given it a try, highly recommend it. And let's get into some rifles here now. Now, I would recommend you hop out of power armor if you're going to use rifles, because you're not going to really be taking advantage of the stabilized perk anymore, so it's not a big deal if you're out of power armor. Plus, I feel like rifles and just regular armor go hand in hand, and you just, I don't know, I feel like you can move really good without, the clunkiness and whatnot. But Bird Bones definitely helps with that anyway. Just, saying. And yeah, how about the Ultrasight laser rifle here, everybody? Absolutely destroying everything. I didn't realize that rifles would be so good with this build, considering it is a heavy gunner build. So I just really wanted to make it a point here that you probably should be using rifles with this build as well. Like, I'm just absolutely destroying stuff as fast as I am with some of the heavy weapons. The Enclave plasma rifle especially. I'm not showing it with the flamer mod here, which would probably even be more devastating, but just, the ranged one here is quite nice as well. You can see the damage I do to a Scorch Beast here is just insane. So get your hands on one of these if you can, guys. And of course, you can use a pistol with this as well. I'm using a 10mm here. There's probably better pistols than this, but even with this pistol, I can easily take out a glowing behemoth with one magazine. Now, for buffs, I would recommend Black-Eyed Susan Soothin'. It's not that easy to get your hands on the recipe if you don't have it. I would recommend Blight Soup mostly because it's very easy to make. You can go over to the Gleaming Depths here, and basically on all the trees around here, not on all of them, but on most of them, even on some of the, tipped over ones, there is Blight. So if you come over here, you can grab a bunch of this. It's really easy to make. It's just Blight, and it's boiled water, if I'm not mistaken, which you just take dirty water and boil it. Simple. Make sure you have green thumb on so you're getting twice as much. And it's, very simple to craft. Barry Mentats, of course, highlights living targets. Big Guns, Tesla Science 8 if you can get your hands on it. I do love Overdrive, but Psycho Buff is just as good, as my opinion. Whatever one you can get your hands on. And Super Stim Packs, which is very important when you're running the Guardian solo, which I'm going to get into here in a second. But let's talk about Company T before we do that and how important it is with this build as well. It's the reason your AP will regen so fast. And this is basically like a VATS critical build, so you're really going to want that AP to be able to be restoring fast. And if you want the Company T machine, you can come over to Crater here. We can go inside by fast traveling to the Crater core. And if we talk to Mortimer here, he does sell the plan for it. You have to have a cautious rep with the Raiders. It's 1,250 bullion. Highly recommend you get your hands on this. It's even good if you're a carnivore. And have a garden as well. You are a herbivore with this build. Having a garden will help replenish your food for the overeaters and whatnot. It's just nice to have, you know. Corn soup is really easy to make, and it will refill your hunger and your thirst. Now, doing the Guardian solo. This may take a bit of practice, but I just want to show you it is possible. Now, I'm showing all the buffs that I'm using there. We are going to start by shooting it with the Syringer, which I will explain in a little bit when I'm showing the guns. Want to make sure you have your stim packs in your settings. Prioritize the super stim packs, which you can do now since the last update. Guardian's going to come out. We're going to shoot him once. Now, we want him to shoot us just a little bit and then go where he can't shoot us and pop a bunch of super stim packs, lock on him. Make sure we're as close to the wall as possible without missing him. You can tell by looking at the percentage. And just keep at him with the Conductor's Gatling Plasma, which I'm going to show you guys in a second here after we get through the Guardian here. And this is the weapon you will be wanting to use. This was not done with canned coffee. And just use the Syringer, Overdrive. You guys saw the buffs that I was using there. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a more in-depth guide on this. This is more of a heavy gunner build. I just thought I would run you guys through this very quickly. It is very possible to take out the Guardian. You may have to let your AP restore for a second. You may have to reload. You may have to run and hide the odd time. There's no shame in that. Yeah, let me know if you guys want an in-depth guide in this. I'm sure I could definitely optimize this a little bit better. I've gotten it under a minute before, more than a couple of times with this build. Now, the weapons that I was using, I highly recommend. I know the letters up there are wrong. I just forgot to rename them. I highly recommend that Enclave Plasma Rifle. The Gatling gun is just an absolute beast. One of my favorite all-time heavy weapons, included the 50 cal as well. One of my all-time favorites. The Gatling Plasma, I'm going to show you two here. The pinpointers I tend to use for bigger enemies if you have some extra canned coffee. I usually pop 10 at a time, and I'll use the pinpointers on a big boss. Holy Fire here. One of the best guns in the game, guys. The Syringer, it reduces target's damage resistance by 25% for 120 seconds. This is why I shoot the Guardian with it. And the light machine gun. Man, this thing surprised me today. This thing just shreds everything. Give it a try. This was the 10mm auto pistol I was using. It was absolute fun using it. And the laser rifle actually surprised me as well. Beast of a weapon with this build. Okay guys, I think that's it. I tried to be as informative as possible with this build. I really hope you guys enjoy it. I'm quite confident that you will, because I'm already loving it. And let's hope they don't change the perk cards for a bit, eh guys? If you're still watching, and even if you're not, thanks for taking the time, everybody. Have a pleasant evening.